What's up you guys, I'm back with another video. In today's video we're going to talk about data structures and algorithms and how you can approach your DSA problems for your coding interviews. So let's get started. Alright, so first of all, why do you even need to learn these data structures and algorithms? We all know that in order to get into a top tech company in a software development role, we need to clear the coding and technical interviews. And these interviews often contain questions related to data structures and algorithms. It's not rocket science and it doesn't really take any specialized arcane knowledge to clear these interviews. It's just a way for the companies to filter out the candidates who haven't put in the work, right? If you actually put in the work and spend some time learning data structures and algorithms, you'll be able to clear these interviews and it's not very difficult. So in order to have a good chance of clearing these interviews, you need to learn about data structures and you need to solve as many problems as you can, basically. So when you go into the interview, chances are that the problem that they ask you, you have already solved some version of it, right? You might not have solved the exact same problem, but if you have solved problems around similar topic and similar approach, you will be able to come up with a good solution, and that's what the interviewer is looking for. So in this video, first I'm going to share with you a list of the most important and cardinal data structures and algorithm problems that you need to focus on. And later in this video, I will also share with you the resources where you can find the problems for each of these topics and actually go ahead and solve those problems. So starting off with arrays and string manipulation, right? So I would say around 50% of all interview questions will revolve around arrays and string manipulation. If you learn the basics of traversing and manipulating arrays and strings, moving characters around, reordering, shuffling, sorting and stuff, you will be able to solve more than 50% of the coding interview questions just like that. So do a lot of problems based on arrays and strings, because these are also going to help you to lay the foundation of understanding these problems and going on to the more advanced topics. So the next data structures that you will look at are stacks, queues, linked lists, hash maps, trees and graphs, and maybe even tries. But I would say tries is a very specific case of a problem, which is the auto completion problem, and that's definitely a good problem to solve. So we make a separate section for auto completion, and in that you will learn the try data structure. It's a very specific data structure which is used for these auto completion problems, so definitely look into that. But most questions will revolve around stacks, queues, linked lists and trees. So in order to really learn these data structures, first I would suggest you actually go ahead and implement these data structures. Choose a language. It doesn't matter if you're doing it in Java or C, C++ or Python or JavaScript. Implement these data structures from scratch. So for example, if you're implementing a binary tree, you can write a node class. It will have properties like left child and right child, which will basically contain the references to its children, and then you can implement the associated functions to insert and delete. So insertion, deletion, updation, all these things you need to be able to implement them from the scratch, because if you do that, then you will really understand what that data structure is and how it works. So I would definitely recommend you implement the data structures first before solving any problems using that data structure. So once you have learned these data structures, the next most important things will be to perform some algorithms on them. Things like traverses, for example, your pre-order, in-order and post-order traverses are going to be very important, followed by your depth first search and breadth first search, which are your DFS and BFS, because a majority of your coding interview questions will revolve around DFS, BFS and tree traversals. So definitely learn these algorithms. They are not that difficult, but you need to get used to how to implement them and try and implement them both recursively and iteratively. In fact, the next topic that I was going to suggest you would be recursion and iteration, right? So you will have to learn how recursion works, because recursion is one of those very quintessential things that are going to be asked in your coding interviews. And in order to have good knowledge of recursion, you need to understand how it works. It's a function calling itself and doing that process over and over again. Recursion is one of the most important topics that you need to learn, so definitely spend some time on it. Most of these problems will have both iterative and recursive solutions, so I would suggest you implement both of them, because in the interview you don't know what the interviewer is going to ask you, right? If they ask you to implement the recursion solution, you implement it, and they might ask you to again convert that into an iterative solution. So you need to know how to implement the solution in both these paradigms, right? Once you have done these, you've got your basics covered, then you will go ahead and learn some specific algorithms like searching and sorting and stuff. Binary search is one of the most important algorithms. I think in every coding interview, there will be something related to binary search, because it's such a common thing and it can be applied in so many different situations, right? So binary search is one of the most important algorithms to learn. Apart from this, you can also do linear search, sorting, basic sorting algorithms, bubble sort, merge sort, quick sort even, right? Most times you won't be asked to directly implement a sorting algorithm or something. It will be some other question which requires sorting. In most cases, you can assume that you have a sorting function available, but it's still good to know how these sorting functions work, because they might ask you some questions about it. So that covers pretty much most of the topics that will be asked in your interviews. So once you're done with these topics, I think you'll be able to clear any coding interview. But then there are these very sophisticated interviews when you're looking for top product companies, because they have so many people applying. They need to raise the bar a little higher because they're looking for the best of the best. So in that case, you can also look into some of the advanced topics, like topological sort or quick select and things like that, because these are some of the algorithms that will lead you to the most optimal solution to some of the coding problems. It might help to look into these advanced topics if you're preparing for these kind of companies. Target companies like Google, then you need to learn dynamic programming and stuff like that. So once you've learned these topics, I think you're pretty much good to go. You'll be able to approach most of these problems and solve them in the time given. Because let's face it, right, there are only limited number of questions that they can ask. They will ask some twisted version with some different constraints, but the problems will be revolving around these same concepts. So if you learn these concepts, you'll be in a good position to tackle any of the problems that you haven't seen before, right? That's the most important thing, because if you come across a question in an interview which you've already solved in the past, that doesn't help you and that doesn't help the interviewer, right? Because they are trying to understand your thinking process and how you approach problems, and if you've already done a problem, then you will directly go to the solution, which is not the most ideal. They want to see you think and see you struggle so that you know how to approach a problem, and in the end you will be able to solve it somehow, right? And they will help you with that. So definitely learn these concepts and don't worry about solving 400 or 500 questions. You don't have to do that. It's an overkill. You might have to do maybe 100, 150, 200 problems to just get familiar with these topics, but anything beyond that is an overkill. I would always recommend you invest into quality than quantity. Every single question that you solve, make sure you really understand it and you understand how the thinking is behind the solution and how to approach this kind of a problem from left and right. So I think that would be more valuable than just solving 500 problems. Because if you just solve 500 problems and learn the solutions, it's not going to help you. You need to learn the way to think about these problems and solve them on your own. Alright, now coming back to the resources, how do you even find these problems on these topics to solve them, right? So I would recommend a book. It's called Cracking the Coding Interview by Gail Lackman McDowell. She used to work at Google and she actually came up with this book, which is actually world famous, right? People around the world read this book to prepare for the coding interviews, and I did that in my engineering. And it consists of almost all the topics that will be asked in your interviews. It consists of problems. It also has the solutions to these problems. I think the book implements it in Java. If you're good with Java, then go ahead with that. Otherwise, you can pretty much find the solutions to these problems online in Python or JavaScript or whatever language that you prefer. Doesn't really matter, but the questions and the topics involved are the most important ones. So definitely get this book. I do have a PDF version of this book. So if you want me to send it to you, just connect with me on Instagram and leave me a DM about the book. I'll send you a link where you can get the book. And I don't want to share that link out here in public because, there can be copyright issues and the book can be taken down and stuff. Why invite so much trouble, right? And you can also find it online or just buy it off. Either way, right? You need a book. And this book consists of all the problems that you need, and including big O notations and stuff like that. This is the book, and Cracking the Coding Interview. As you can see, it has 189 programming questions and solutions. So I would say once you get the book, you can start off from the first chapter and read it end to end. But if you're specifically looking for data structures and algorithms, you can directly jump to the chapter 6, which is the chapter on Big O. It introduces you to the time and space complexity. It does it really well, right? After reading this chapter, it'll be clear to you how to estimate the complexity of your algorithm or your solution. And then you can go ahead and read the chapter on data structures. As you can see, there are chapters on arrays and strings, linked lists, stacks and queues, trees and graphs. Then there are also other algorithms like bit manipulation and math and logic problems, object-oriented design, recursion, dynamic programming. So this book contains everything that you need to know for your coding interviews, and definitely get this book. I think once you've completed this book, you'll be able to clear any coding interview and any interview of a tech company to get into a development role. The amount of knowledge that is contained in this book is unmatched, right? You cannot find the videos for every single topic. Once you've completed this book and you're confident that you know the problems and the concepts introduced in this book, then you can go ahead into websites like LeetCode and Geeks for Geeks. When you're actually doing your interviews, you will have a company. So let's say you're interviewing for Microsoft. So you can go to LeetCode or Geeks for Geeks and search for Microsoft interview questions and solve those specific company questions, right? So it might help you to see the previous questions asked by that company and gives you a chance to understand what kind of questions these companies ask. So definitely look for company specific questions. And if you're looking to just practice what you have learned, you can go to LeetCode and sort for the most frequently asked questions and start solving them one by one. And solving these problems will be more than enough. You'll be able to clear any technical interview. And this is a tried and tested process, right? Around the world, people use this book. People use LeetCode to clear coding interviews. Alright, so finally, I would like to stress on the fact that you need to focus on quality over quantity, guys, because solving 500 problems is not going to help you if you didn't understand how the solution works and how you can approach the solution. That's the most important part. So don't just keep on solving 5 problems a day, 10 problems a day to complete all these problems. Even if you solve 1 or 2 problems a day, just make sure you learn the in and out of it, and next time you come across that problem, you know how to think about the solution. You need not remember the solution, because if you remember the solutions, how many solutions can you remember, right? It's not a memorization game. It's the game of understanding how to approach this, right? If you actually understand the approach for a problem, then you can do 5 other problems related to it, right? So if you do 100 problems and you understand them really well, each problem will give you a chance to solve 5 to 10 problems of the similar kind with different constraints. If you take one thing home from this video, it will be focus on quality over quantity. Quantity doesn't matter. Alright, so that's about it for this video. If you like this video, hit that like button and leave a comment below if you have any other questions. And as always, if you have any other questions for me, connect with me on Instagram and leave me a DM. I'll be happy to help you out. And well, that's it. Thanks for watching.